thank you. All right,
No
so
problem.
put it through the hashing algorithm, and th- this will be completely fake hashing algorithm, so don't quote me on anything. It produces a random hash of 1A to B, capital B actually, 3F. And this hash, which doesn't correlate to any real life hashing, will be stored in instead of the password. Now, a little bit of better security, you know. So if a hacker got control of this database and could pull all the user data, they would just get this instead. And, you know, unless they want to go through dehashing it, it's going to take a while, and it's not as easy as plain text. Now, what salting does is we go one step further on that. So prior to the hashing algorithm, we take password and then we add some sort of salt or some sort of word or phrase in front or behind password. So we'll take anime 3 and we'll add that in front of password. So this will be the new salted password. And then now we put this into the hashing algorithm. Function. And then now we would get some completely different, because we remember that when you add or when you change a password, it will be very different than if you had a similar plain text password. So, you know, we get something crazy like 6PR 9, you know, something like that. And then this would get stored into password. And then, you know, at the end of the day, that would be harder to crack than a non-salted hash. Clear, but let's see. Did I cover anything here? Basically a fixed length. Okay, so when a company would store a salt, it would typically just be a single discrete value, though a more effective way of doing it is actually using a salting algorithm to generate each user an individual salt, and then the database would correlate the salting function and then apply that salting function to create the salt, which would then append to the entered password. And just a little fun fact, when salting a function, adding or appending any sort of fixed value in front or at the end of a password is known as salting. But if it's appended before the password, it's called salting. And if it's appended at the end, it's called peppering. So yeah, just something cool. Let's see. Oh, that's the slide. So why do we need hashes? As stated, we want password security. We don't want hackers to easily break into our database, and when they do, we don't want just to have plain text passwords, which is what happens whenever, you know, hackers do that and then post it on the internet, which is the RockU hack, which I'll briefly cover that in just a second. So again, storing password in plain text equals bad. So when a hacker gets into your system, that's right. Let's see. And hashing is a type of encryption, but hashing is better than the standard like two-way encryption where it can be decrypted. Hashing is a one-way encryption. So, you know, the only way to actually identify a hash is comparing hashes directly rather than decrypting the hash. And so that makes hashing the single best option for storing passwords on a database. And also some companies will hash, encrypt, and then hash again. So multi-layer hashing, which is also pretty good. As for file integrity, so as I slightly mentioned before, hashing is more than just encrypting passwords. It's also used to check the identity of files. So if you download a file from the internet, every single file will have some sort of ID code, and that ID code can be correlated to its hash. So if you want to make sure that the file that you downloaded is actually the file that you downloaded, you can go into Windows command prompt and then verify that the file is what it says it is, and then check on the website that you downloaded that it is also what you said it's, that also what it says that it is. Oh, Michael, why did you write World of Cheese on the end? Ignore that. So most common hashing algorithms. MD5. This is going to be like your base case that is used in NCL that you encounter most often. And each hashing algorithm is defined by both its algorithm, but also by how many digits it outputs as the hash. Every hashing algorithm, no matter how short or long the input is, will always produce a hash of that exact value. So hashing an MD, or putting a file or a password through an MD5 hash will always yield 32 hexadecimal characters or 128 bits of data. SHA SHA1 will output 160, 200, SHA 256 will output 256, and then the same thing with SHA 512. Collisions. So collisions is what happens whenever two passwords will result in the same hash. So whilst there are an infinite possibilities of passwords, because you are only outputting, you know, in MD5, 128 data bits, you can you would take the base as the amount of ASCII characters you can choose from, and then take it to the power of 128. That, even though it's a huge number, will result in a finite number that is less than infinity. So there's bound to be some sort of mapped hash out there in the world. So the more bits that an encryption algorithm outputs, the better, because that offers more opportunity for more distinct hashes when you're trying to create infinite passwords. Attacks on hashes. So suppose, you know, we do get illegal anime.ru's database of passwords. What's the worst case scenario? Well, worst case scenario is they stored it as plain text. A service did that many years ago. God, I'm not good with years. But that resulted in the server storing all of its passwords in plain text. And hackers put all of those passwords, compiled that into a list, and created the rocku.txt file. And all of that is all of the passwords that were found on that server. And that's commonly used to put into Hashcat or Hydra as a file to, you know, for the system to hash that and then compare the hash data to whatever password you're trying to dehash. But there are a couple ways that hackers can use these database of hashes. They can use a brute force attack, which is first they find one word, then they find the hash for that word, and then pair that hash to the hashed password. If it doesn't match, then they just keep trying again. You have a dictionary attack, which is what the rocku.txt is really good for. You put that in association with Hashcat or Hydra, and then you can have the program continually iterate through that entire list, generating the hash for it, and then comparing that hash to your password. So, you know, that's a more faster way if you've got like a million ideas of what it could possibly be. Then you have rainbow tables, which is a step above dictionary attacks, which is you take the word list and then you already pre-generate the hashes for them. And then with that, you can compare those hashes easily to your password, trying to find a match. Preventing and mitigating attacks on hashes. So we can't entirely prevent it unless we can create a hash that is infinitely long and that will be guaranteed to be distinct. but it at least adds an extra level of security on top of our passwords when we're storing our passwords. So we can also have access denial. So I'm pretty sure you at one point have signed into a Google account one too many times using their own password. So whether too many incorrect passwords or too many password attempts from an IP address, we can block those, or temporarily block access or connection from those IPs to stop them from trying to do a brute force attack. We can avoid having common passwords, so that's why people say don't have your password as password. So that helps fight the dictionary attacks and the rainbow attacks, as they can't easily run through Hashcat to compare your hash. Avoid reusing passwords. If you have a password manager that can automatically generate 16 character long passwords using capital letters, numbers, lowercase letters, and ASCII characters, that would be the best case scenario. You don't want to have password one as all of your passwords. Adding two-factor authentication to secure systems. So if your Google account, so if you can have, your Google account not only require that you enter your password, but also prompt that you click a button on your phone, that is a lot more secure because it requires the physical hardware device that you typically keep around that simply can't be broken into unless they're physically there, though it's still vulnerable to social engineering attacks where somebody can call you over the phone and ask you to click a number. And then educating people about security. So that's the reason why we are here. That's the reason why you want to take a little bit of interest in this field, even if you don't want to become a cybersecurity professional. It's not just a job for IT. It's a job for everybody to secure their password and to be aware of suspicious emails that say, hey, you've won a trip to Nigeria, pay us $1 million and we'll give you 10 million. Yeah, but that's basically all that I had for today. I know it wasn't a lot, but it was the week of career fair and things. But does anybody have any questions?
Nope, no questions. Come on, give me one. Well, okay then.
Did you have anything to say, Andrew?
Let's see. You will do a lot of these. If you haven't taken 2110 yet and you're still kind of new to UNT, you will be taking. Okay, you will have to test over hash functions. Just to let you know. So it does come up in school, and we can use it even with school to help us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look who's here today. It's Megan. Hi, Megan.
Syed, did you have anything to?
Sorry that I'm late.
No, you're okay, you're okay.
No, Karan, I don't have anything much at the moment. I think we need to get going with the NCL stuff.
Okay.
So I think the preseason is between 6th to 9th October, I guess. So,
okay, so the preseason is 6th to 9th. Okay, yeah. So the actual season is the 15th then.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. Yeah, just another reminder to partake in NCL or contact us if you need help signing up. We want everybody, or at least the majority of people, to partake in at least have some sort of experience. And, maybe it's an opportunity to find out that you really like cybersecurity, or the inverse, that it's not really for you. And, that's okay too. I think it's still important that you at least get exposure to this. So, yeah, I don't have anything else prepared for this meeting, though I'll keep you updated on some sort of newsletter for these next few weeks, because we do have a couple of presentations that we are excited to present.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Sorry for missing the whole meeting.
You're good, Megan. You're good.
This is being recorded, right?
Yes.
This will be
Yes, it is.
posted elsewhere. Okay, cool. Because I want to look back over at this.
Awesome. I'll
Sounds
also
good.
be reposting a link to our YouTube channel, which we posted the resume workshop for.
Mhm.
So if you guys missed that, you'll be able to check out that. And this meeting will be recorded. Thank you,
Is it
Andrew.
sponsored? Eh.
Sadly,
YouTube
it's not sponsored.
JK, sorry. Bad joke.
Sponsored by Calculator and Lost Dreams. No, wait, I'm not a mathematics major. Never mind.
Mathematics major. Kind of sus.
Okay. Oh, hey, Kieran, I have a question.
Yeah. What's up?
If anyone is interested, it looks like the UNT engineering Discord. If you don't have it, let us know. We can get it to you. That they actually have game nights. So if you are playing like Among Us or stuff like that, a lot of UNT students do play those, and they're up. Jacob Woodson hosts them.
Awesome.
Okay. So if everybody wants to do some community stuff, that's there too.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for that, Andrew.
Wasn't really a question, but it was there.
It's a good
Thank you,
announcement.
dude.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Thanks,
Thank you,
Karen.
everybody. Also, Andrew, don't forget to hit stop recording.